Good morning, everybody. So the signatures are technically done at the moment with the distressing and that impossible embossing method, which I'm not sure if I'm going to use that for any kind of fabric that has any kind of material that's fabric-like. Now comes the real test of the journal cover. So for those of you who saw the video way before this, the cover was made of a cereal box, but the issue was the paper I used was way too thin and you could see the cereal design through it. So I not only added another piece of paper on top, but I also added two more pieces of a flexible, like thin cardboard that was stiff on top of that. Then I added the cover, the beautiful red glitter paper for the interior, and then I cut another piece of scrapbook of a specialty artisan not really artisan paper, but a nice cardboard. A nice cardstock piece of scrapbook paper for the inner spine. Now the true test is this. ShanoukiArts showed how to carefully fold the journal, taking your time to bend it without ripping it. So this is going to be the true test. You are all witnesses to what I'm about to do next. So let's fold this journal, and by then I should be able to use, I'm not sure if I'm going to use this awl because this is going in and out, but I might use another sturdier awl to create the signatures, and I'll show you how to do that. So wish me luck on this thing. Well, it's folded. Some parts of the paper here came up, which I'm going to have to glue that down again. But this is what I was afraid of. This part started to rip. So I'm thinking what I might do is Shanouki used another piece of scrapbook paper for the outside. But to be honest, I think what I'll use is that pretty, let me see. I think what I'll do to cover that tear is to use this pretty lace. I think this will be a very nice border just to cover up that tear, and I think that will be a really nice border on that one. Just to, like I said, just to cover the tear. I will have to go back in and glue. Oops. Just make sure it's closing the right way, is it? I mean, it works, but you know what? I think, yeah, it's going right through. Unbelievable. Oh my God. Wow, that's what I was afraid of. Oh boy. Oh my, I was afraid of that. So I'm wondering if using the, let me see. I'm wondering if using this type made it too thick for the size of the cereal box, because even though this paper here is semi thick, it's still, I just felt it wasn't sturdy enough. But I think this should do. What I am going to use is a little bit of weight just to kind of like weigh it down a bit. And then we'll, yeah. I'm actually going to use this underneath so it can have a little bit of support there, just to make sure that it bends properly. But I can, yeah, that's what I was afraid of, that it was going to rip. So we'll just keep it like that for the moment. And, yeah. And then I will deal with gluing down the sides one more time. Well, okay, so I'm not sure if you all can see this. I ended up having this part kept buckling over the part that was bent. There needs to be a better way to do this. What's happening is that this split, and I don't like the way that it buckled like that, so I did have this seam ribbon that I just cut to size because it left some of the cardboard residue. But as you can kind of see, it's buckling. I'm not sure if y'all can see the raised edge there. But this part is going up and down. Now this is not, it's not perfect. It is bending, which is good, but I'm gonna have to figure out what to put here, because it looks like it's separating, which is what I didn't want it to do in the first place. And I don't really want to put another piece of paper there, to be honest with you, because it's going to buckle. So I'm wondering if I can maybe put a piece of like a very thin braided rope here so that it closes. I don't know. I really don't know. I just don't like the fact that it's buckling up like that. I didn't want it to do that in the first place. So, I mean, I want it to definitely go straight across. So, and this is the first time I'm using the cereal box method here, but I don't like the fact that it buckled like that. I really don't like that effect at all. So I'm going to have to see if I may, yeah, see what I mean? It's just continuing to buckle like that. I do not like that at all. So this is trial and error. I'm going to have to figure out where to go from here. But I'm going to see if there's a rope, a tapestry rope or something I can add to the sides here, just so that it looks like it's a finished piece. So I'm going to weight it down again, and I'm going to look for a piece of tapestry or embroidered rope or something, just to see if that will do the trick. So let's see. Okay, so I was originally going to go to Joann's to see if I can get a very, very thin piece of tapestry rope or something, just to see if I can fix this. But luckily my mother had some red yarn. This thing for some reason keeps buckling up, and I didn't like the way it was doing it, and it's also very, very thick. So I probably won't use that kind of piece again. But so I just used the red yarn. I used Mod Podge, and I just slightly squeezed it under to create a very thin layer of glue, and then I pressed using my bone folder to squish the yarn underneath to create so that it doesn't buckle up like that anymore, so that when it bends it will retain its shape. So hopefully that won't be a problem. And plus this is going to be covered up by the signatures anyway. So, but man, what a mess. So I'm going to leave that for a bit, and I will get back to cutting off the excess part of the yarn here and get this poked through for the signatures. I hope this is not going to be causing any more of a problem, so wish me luck on that. All right, so it is evening. We just finished dinner. I had a major vertigo attack before I got to the doctor's, and I'm still having that imbalance thing even as I sit here. I don't know why it's gotten this bad. Anyway, going back to the project, I really hope this works. So, I added a red yarn for the inside, and because this part started to tear, I decided to overlay it with lace. Now I just hope it's going to work. It's a very stiff, it's a really stiff cover, which is, it's really stiff. This side is even stiffer than the other. Anyway, so I added the lace to the back. Now, I may need to add some more pressure to it. I don't know. Let me just make sure I can. It's also kind of going at an angle, which is what I don't want it to do. So, yeah, this is really, really stiff. And I'm not sure if this is, yeah, this is going to be way too skinny. So, I'm just going to try for the moment. I need to see exactly how big this is. So this is exactly 2 inches across. And I just want to make sure that I have the same length as it is for the signature. So let's just take do a little experiment here and just see, shall we? If this will be long enough. So let's see. Yeah, it will. Okay. It's just long enough. Now it's just a matter of making sure that it's going to be in the right place. So, yeah. Okay. So I want it to be equidistant from the last hole. So it's about 3/4, and this one is 3/4. Okay. Yeah, so I'm going to try to create the signatures. Now, for the cover itself, Shanouki actually did something interesting because I've seen Karen Joyce on Vintage Elegance Inspirations. She would poke holes through the spine this way, but what Shanouki showed was when she did the holes on the exterior, you don't see the paper pushing out from the exterior. You'll see the paper pushing out from the interior, which will be covered. So that's why I was surprised that she did it this way. So I'm going to try to do the same thing. But what I am planning to do first are the signatures to make sure that they each are lined up correctly. I am going to be needing, whatever happened to them, I'm going to need my long clips because some of the pages in here are pretty short, and I need to see about the buttons. I can always just poke the 5 holes in. Now, because I wasn't quite sure, technically I can do 3 holes. So this is exactly 4 inches across. But I want it to be extra sturdy. So that's why I wanted to do 5. But now my question was, if I do 5 holes, how does that work as a pamphlet stitch? So I went back to Vintage Elegance Inspirations and I saw how she added the buttons. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be using that. If I do the 5, it would mean poking a hole and then sewing the thread through the through each hole and then threading it through the button on the outside. So I'm not sure. I want to check the button stash first to see if I have what I would like, and then I will go from there. Otherwise, I can just do, instead of 5, I can do 1, 2, and 3, which means it will be 4 inches across, which means the stitches are going to be very, very long. So I'll need to see about that, but let me first get, I need to add some more weight to this. And I may need to glue down that lace a little bit better, but in the meantime, I'm going to look at the button stash that my mother has, and I will be back. Okay, well, I'm still not sure what I'm going to use, so in the meantime, let's just go through my bead collection without breaking my finger off. Let's see what I have. Ooh, look at these reds. That's really nice. That broke. I need to repair that. Let's see. Is that the same one? Yeah, it's the same one. Rondelle. Let's see. Little paintbrush thing. That's cute. This is my, oh yes, this is my Irish Celtic knot thing. And these, see this? Oh, if it was too oh no, it wouldn't even work that way. It would have to be, no, that's not gonna work. Okay, that's not gonna work that way. So, no. It's beautiful reds, which is really nice. That was a bracelet I need to redo. Let's see. Oh, I think I know what. Let's see. No. Maybe, not sure. Okay, here we go. Let's see. That might be a possibility. I really want to pick up the Is that gonna work? No, too dark. Too dark. Okay, guys. I'm still debating. I can also add these to the outside of the spine. Another thing I was thinking was to also use these butterflies to line the strings on the side, but I'm just wondering if that may be too... that might be a little hard, and I'm not sure exactly how thick the string is. In the meantime, let's... Okay, are you... Yeah, it's just... It is so stiff. It's so stiff, that's the problem. Yeah, it's just... Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, it is so... It's so stiff. I'm not going to use another board to make the journal thicker. I think that's way... It's way too, yeah, that's just way too, it's way too, that's way too thick. But the other idea was, Karen Joyce also made five holes for her signatures. And then what she adds on the end are buttons. I'm just thinking that these may be too... I was hoping my mother would have some shank ones, but I'm not seeing those anywhere. So let me just do a little experiment here. No, not really. I don't want to take away... I really don't want to take away from the tapestry design because it's just it's too pretty to cover up. But let me just see. these here that are somewhat small. Those are too big. What about these guys? I kind of want them to be the same size. I'm just wondering if that's going to be too, whoop. Let me see, how many of these do I have? I have 1, 2, 3. So technically I have 6. If I was to do 3 signatures, I can maybe do a button. I don't know. I think that's way too dark. What does that even say? Looks like a Hogwarts a bit. I don't. No, I think the buttons are out. Because I have 3 signatures, so they all have to be. Let me see something. 2, 3. No, it would have to go through the other. If I was to do 3. No, those are way too thick. 1, 2. No, that wouldn't work. No, I think the buttons are out because it's not sturdy enough. No. No, I think the buttons are out. All these are silver. Yeah. So I'm going to use my template as a guide. I think I'm just going to do 3. Okay, well, I thought this all would be a little bit thinner, but it's not. There's this one. Then I have this one, which it's not really an awl. I'm going to try using my awl Can't really promise anything, but let's just see what happens. So I'm going to make the first hole. Let's see. Nope, you see, it's going, it's pushing it. No, it's not going to do it. Okay, so back to plan. Let's see what this one does. I can't even push it through. Oops. Well, that's one hole. Anything better than this? Nope, not. I may need to get a different kind of awl for this. I'm not sure. Yeah, so you see, as I'm going through this, the paper is going up like this. That's what I want. So you always want to do it from the outside of the journal. But I just wish there were thinner ones. I don't see any ones that are thinner. And that one is, nah, I'm just gonna continue using it. I may need to invest in getting a different kind of awl. I don't know. Come on. So, yeah, it just comes right out. Okay. Let's do the next one. Yeah, I'm not going to do 5. I'm just going to do 3. Big holes in this one, but whatever. They'll be covered up by the string. Okay, well, those are my holes. So now, so the paper went straight through, and I'm hoping that will be, yeah, these guys are a little further spaced out, but that shouldn't really be a problem. I hope. I hope not. I certainly hope not. So, all right, so now the next part will be to punch the signatures. And that requires me to go through these again. And just make sure that those papers are in the right section. Okay, so we're going to tackle the very first signature. There's a lot of pages involved in here, so we're just going to have to be extremely careful. This is the innermost part. Okay, so I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to get my beeswax thing here for waxing thread. Most of you saw this in the first video. I'm going to have to really batten that down. And then this is the thread. I'm using this binder's thread for this one. And they say to measure 3 lengths the size of the journal. So I'm going to do, 1 second. Do 1, 2, 3. I'm going to cut it around there. Just make sure. 1, 2. Wait. Hold on. 1, 2. Just. Okay. So this is the thread I'm going to use, and I'm going to carefully going to wax the thread a little. This beeswax is really, really sticky. And then I'm going to use these binder needles to thread it through. So here we go. So I'll show you how I'm going to do it. So we're going to do the pamphlet stitch, which goes through the middle, down. I'm going to sew it into the very first signature, which is right here. Then I'm going to go up through this one, back through here. Then I'm going to do over through this one and back through the middle and through here. So I'll show you guys the entire process. Here we go.